Harry knows best. Wondering at nighttime, sending delirious messages, bringing home homeless dogs? After all of this, you still claim you are not a sleepwalker. Luckily, Harry knows all about your problems. Prepare to be amazed. Eyes wide open, unreasonable aggression, paying particular attention to luminous objects gave your affliction away. It's all in the family. Almost 80% of sleepwalkers inherited this trait from their parents. It's important that you are looked after. Kenneth Parks killed his mother-in-law but was found innocent on the grounds of being a sleepwalker. Though acquitted, he still remains a killer in the eyes of many. But let's focus on positive moments. Like Lee Hadwin, you can turn into a talented artist by night and work as a nurse by day. Or consider the career of a superhero. There are recorded cases of sleepwalkers surviving a 25-meter jump without sustaining any damage, and scaling cargo cranes, all of this without ever waking up. And here's the main advice. Go to bed with your shoes on. A 4-year-old Norwegian girl took a 3-mile journey and slept through it. Not even a violent storm could stop her. It seems that sleepwalkers are the most fearless people in the world. Are you sure you're not one of them? What if you chose to become a Tibetan monk? You are confined in a tiny room. Your only source of light comes through a narrow slit in the wall where you get your food from, which happens just once a week. And your meals consist of a mug of water and a bowl of barley flour. This is the only day you are able to get any fresh air too. Soon, your muscles will atrophy and you will start going blind. With your now extra sensitive hearing, you'll be able to hear the blood running through your veins. You will enter into a state of trance from oxygen deprivation, and only then will you know spiritual freedom. And no, this is not a beginning of a horror film. You just became a Tibetan monk. Prepare to be amazed. Now let's figure out how you've come to this. Together with over 46,000 monks, you'd voluntarily accepted a life of isolation. You were 7 years old then. You have been exploring the wisdom of Buddhism for 18 years now and studied 253 vows. Throughout all these years, you had in your possession a blanket, a bowl, and a set of warm clothes. Sometimes you used a smartphone or a tablet since it's more effective to do charitable work. Like that last time in 2013 when you helped collect about $3,900 in 5 days through WeChat to pay the medical bills of a 1-year-old Losang Sanji who had fractured his skull. We are very curious to know which sole possession you take with you to the monastery if you became a Tibetan monk. Yes, you can choose just one. You've been able to temper your spirit and achieve enlightenment thanks to the clearly structured daily plan. 8 hours of spiritual practice, 8 hours of physical work and working out, and 8 hours of rest, food, and sleep. To resist the temptation of gluttony, your daily ratios consist of rice, vegetables, fruits, and Tibetan bread. But your new favorite drink is the Tibetan tea made with salt, yak milk, and yak butter. This recipe is over 1,400 years old. We think that adding some marshmallows to it would be great. To protect you from vain thoughts and the desires to pursue fashion, Buddha left instructions in Vinaya Pitaka. You have to shave your head every 2 months so that you aren't tempted to grow your luscious locks. Mind you, monks can't wash, comb, or dye their hair. Very interesting, no doubt, but one question still remains unanswered. How did you find yourself in that small enclosed space? Well, after finishing your studies, you had several options before you. You could have stayed in the monastery, go back to the outside world, or become a hermit or a recluse. That last option involves being sealed in a small hut. Obviously, you were adamant about that last one. Is it a good thing to be a Tibetan monk? We think so, but you must be ready for a life without IFLAND videos. And where's the good in that? While you're making up your mind, watch our next video and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Otherwise, you'll miss the most interesting things. What if you were born as one half of conjoined or Siamese twins? Abby and Brittany Hensel are one of the most well-known conjoined twins in the world. In a sensational reality TV show, the sisters talked about all the nuances of their side-by-side life. The audiences were astonished, and this morning, you didn't wake up all alone. And we're not talking about that girl you met at a bar yesterday. Meet your conjoined twin. Prepare to be amazed. Here's one of the earliest ever mentions of conjoined twins. In 945 AD, a set of twins from Armenia were brought to Constantinople for examination by doctors. Alas, there was not much medicine could do to help the babies at that time. The birth of conjoined twins is a pretty rare occurrence, just one case per 200,000 births. It all depends on the division of the fertilized egg. During normal course of the pregnancy, the egg starts dividing on the 6th day after fertilization. Conjoined twins are formed if it starts dividing later, on the 14th or 15th day. Now you know all about the process that made you and your brother so unique, like living thousands of lives and delve beyond the bounds of reality. Then you are in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe to the IFLAND channel so as not to miss our new video. 70% of conjoined twins are girls. Conjoined twins are always same-sex. Have you heard of the Bunker brothers? It is actually thanks to them that conjoined twins are also called Siamese twins. Brothers Cheng and Ing Bunker toured with a circus under this pseudonym and achieved incredible popularity. Despite your unique situation, you and your brother will be able to live a full life. Here are your childhood photos. Those are from your school years, and that's your university memories. By the way, the Hensel sisters work as math teachers. The only problem at the moment is their salary. The sisters teach their classes separately but get a single salary for two. And if a quiet lifestyle is not for you, then go explore show business. The widely known sisters Millie and Christine McCoy performed in creative tandem. By the time their career ended, the women were wealthy and extremely famous. It's all good, but we know what really bothers you. Yes, you can marry and have children. Chang and Eng Bunkers married two different women and fathered many healthy children. And Rosa, one half of the Rosa and Josepha Blazek twins, was able to conceive and give birth to her son, Franz. The main thing to understand here is that Siamese twins are two separate individuals who share one body. One of the twins can have some bad habits, and the other lead a healthy lifestyle. One can have a degree in humanities, and the other can be fond of tech stuff. You can even be allergic to your brother's favorite chocolate. To strike a balance is the most important thing for you. In some cases, it is possible to split a pair of conjoined twins. A surgery gives the chance of leading separate lives, but such a division is possible only if you have sufficient number of vital organs between both of you. It's impossible to imagine the life as a conjoined twin with the help of a mere description, no matter how hard we try to depict it. There are a lot of pros and cons. The IFLAND YouTube channel wants all unique people to have bright, long, happy, and full lives. We love you.
What would happen if you became homeless in America? You wake up in a box under a bridge and watch the rats eat your breakfast. For 554,000 Americans, this is not some terrible dream, but a harsh reality. And today, you will experience what it is like to lose your house and to be thrown out to live on the streets. Prepare to be amazed. New York, Los Angeles, and Seattle are the cities where the number of homeless people is the highest. We would advise you to relocate to these cities, since it's easier to survive in a megacity with lots of tourists. Soon, your new friends will explain to you that the most common reasons why people end up on the streets are expensive housing, unemployment, family quarrels, and closure of psychiatric hospitals. So because of that latter thing, try to choose your friends carefully. Despite the deplorable state of things, it is still possible for you to find a soulmate and start a family. The status of the family homelessness phenomenon in the United States has changed from episodic to chronic. Families make up to 37% of the total homeless population. Because of this, the rate of child homelessness is on the increase as well. 1 of 30 American children becomes homeless each year. 51% of them are under 5 years of age. Until you meet the woman of your dreams, a dog will be your loyal companion. They don't let people give up completely. Many homeless people will choose starvation if it means their furry companion gets to eat. We think this says a lot. But let's make sure you don't spend your evenings hungry and try to earn some cash. Just like 30% of homeless youth, you can get some money by begging or collect aluminum cans and scrap metal. Double profit. You earn some money and the city becomes cleaner. It is not a good idea to engage in drug trafficking, which 19% of homeless people choose to do. And let's not forget about social help. About $4.5 billion is spent yearly on helping people who lost their home. Of course, there's not enough funds for everyone. That is why 10% of homeless people continue to engage in sex work. If you are healthy and disease-free, you can also donate blood or semen. You can get remuneration for participating in benchmark research medical experiments. Winter is coming, but don't despair yet. Speaking about winter, if you manage to secure social assistance in special centers where you can get warm clothes and accommodation, then you have a chance to survive. Better still, find a remote job, like copywriting, which is in high demand right now, and go to Japan. There, you will become a cyber homeless person. The cyber homeless in Japan, while not being able to rent a room, still can live in internet clubs. Just for 15 bucks, you get a snack, a bed, the opportunity to shower, and browse the internet. Oh, you don't look too well after your morning walk in the rain. It is a good thing that the government provides free medical care and you can easily get a doctor's appointment. Congrats, you managed to get a job, like 60% of the homeless eventually do. Just don't forget to inform your boss that you'll spend some time on a sick leave. Yes, 95% of homeless people have phones. 80% of them are smartphones. Yet, despite all the support from the government, the job opportunities, and the prospect of returning to ordinary life, there are many nuances. In many states, feeding and helping homeless may result in criminal charges. Hospitals can also refuse to help you, and sometimes ambulances never arrive. It is definitely not a good thing to be a homeless person, both in the US and beyond. On planet IFLAND, everyone owns a house, and we sincerely hope that soon this will be the case on Earth too.
What would happen if you became a member of a Yakuza clan? In such an organization, you will feel like an outlaw manager. The sale of weapons and ammunition will become an everyday routine, and debt collecting will seem like a morning warm-up. You'll take up smuggling as a hobby, live your life like a criminal saga. So sharpen your katana, buckle up, it's gonna be quite a ride. The Japanese mafia follow a specific code of rules. It was formed in the 17th century, and at the same time, the first Yakuza clans emerged. Initially, they consisted of thievish street vendors and gamblers, and today is the day you'll also start learning the Yakuza code. You will join the ranks of the Criminal Brotherhood with 102,000 strong membership, but it won't be easy. It's time to talk about the challenges. Have you ever been a member of a brotherhood? If so, what tests were you subjected to during the initiation?
Wow.
Leave your comments in the comment section below. First of all, you will have to go through the sacred initiation ceremony. Be ready to drink sake with the patriarch figure of the group. The leader will have more to drink to show you who is the boss. You will eventually swap your cups to establish the mutual trust. Truth to be told, such a ritual isn't any news for many of us, as it happens every Friday night at our favorite pubs. But such is the tradition. Don't relax yet. In addition to the initiation ceremony, you will have to undergo a test of 12 questions. This way, the clan checks a challenger's knowledge of the law and protect members from getting into trouble with law enforcement. Here is your first task: delivering humanitarian aid. And it's not a joke. These guys always offer help to those who need it. For instance, after the terrible tsunami outbreak in 2011, the Japanese Yakuza were among the first to help people in affected areas. To train your spirit, lower the pain threshold, and finally become part of the Yakuza, you are obliged to get a traditional tattoo. Good news is, the choice is huge. Dragons, flowers, mountains, and seascapes, as well as Yakuza group emblems. A perfect choice. And now the bad news. The tattooing method involves bamboo sticks or steel needles. And don't you dare to back off. Over 70% of the clan members simply will stop taking you seriously and will force you to go to the local tattoo shop. Now, after the upgrade, if you prove yourself well, chances are you'll become the new boss. By the way, Yakuza groups are patriarchal. Only once in 1981, a woman, the widow Fumiko, ran her Yakuza clan, but not for long. Be extremely attentive on your way to the criminal Olympus. If you disobey the boss, make a grave mistake, or decide to leave the clan, you will be subjected to the painful ritual of Yubitsu. The tip of your little finger on your left hand will be cut off with no painkillers and presented to the group leader. The more mistakes you make, the shorter your fingers will become. So get yourself together. Otherwise, you will not be able to type on the keyboard and click on a new video on the IFLAND channel. Is it a good thing to be a member of the Yakuza? Of course not. In addition to all the terrible nuances associated with the activities of the syndicate, you are most likely to find yourself behind bars. Harry knows best. Got a dolphin steak and fillets for dinner? And instead of running away while shouting loudly, you ordered some pufferfish? Well, you're either a die-hard gourmet or a Japanese national, which is basically the same thing. Want to learn more about oddities? Harry will tell you all about it. Prepare to be amazed. The notable differences start at school. You will feel like a Cinderella since you'll have to clean a lot. This way, they're instilling the love for tidying up, as well as the sense of responsibility. So after a day at a Japanese school, you certainly will not throw that wrapper past the garbage bin. And now to part 2 of our fairy tale. Japanese schoolgirls often become members of popular music groups. In one of them, SNH48, there are 99 participants. They form various smaller music groups and tour the country. After the concerts, wealthy men pay thousands of dollars just to chat with the young beauties. So the "and they lived happily ever after" ending is a possibility. As for day-to-day life, the Japanese rarely lock their cars. They don't chain their bicycles, and 6-year-old children can safely take public transport. By the way, you won't meet new babies that often, and certainly less often than pets. The Japanese prefer work to having children. The average working day lasts over 12 hours. Because of this, a new profession has appeared, a controller, who ensures that people don't work excessive overtime. Because of the intensive work week, we suppose that not many people would be up to waking up as a Japanese person, if not for the ability of these guys to have fun. A variety of holidays and festivals are held on weekends. For example, a Kanamara Matsuri, the Phallus Festival. On this day, 3 huge penises are displayed in the streets. The belied is that if you touch these symbols, your life will be full of happiness and joy. So don't stand still and don't expect for happiness to fall right into your hands.